What is up? It's a Figure Hunter, and today we're going to review the initial thoughts for the Amazfit Balance, which is a new watch from a company that's not as well known, named Amazfit, that has nothing to do with Amazon, even though the name is somewhat similar. So if you like this review, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing for more. I really, in these reviews, focus on three main things. One is testing devices for CrossFit or high-intensity interval training, but also looking at the wellness and recovery that a device could offer in addition to the training tracking, as well as I try to take an objective and comparative review with watches. So not just like, here is this feature, or let me tell you this one feature it has, but to see if it compares to other features that are out there on the market in the similar facet. And then three, just no frills type reviews, just here just to primarily just get primary content out. So hopefully this is helpful for you. So the Amazfit Balance is a 1.5-inch AMOLED screen with reportedly 2 weeks of battery life. It's only $239, super light, super skinny, and all aluminum body. So we're going to look at it hands-on and just sort of dive into the specs. We're going to look at some of the features that it is offering. This is just the initial look, and then we'll come back together and talk in summary about how we're going to plan out the more in-depth analysis of this. So with that, let's just dive into the Amazfit Balance hands-on initial review. All right, so the Amazfit Balance. So it came with a free band. This band is actually pretty weird and pretty cool. It's like push. It's like you push these little nodules through here. I wish it kind of just was like either all this color or one of each. So, but it's really super interesting. I've used it. It actually works fine, but I move my watch around so much during workouts that I just regularly have a regular band. This regular band that comes with it is sort of fixed in place. Not my favorite to have something fixed in place like this, but it is super comfortable. The thing that you'll notice about the Amazfit Balance is it's freaking gorgeous. I mean, it is really a good looking watch. I mean, the colors, this is a 1.5-inch AMOLED screen. They say that it's like 73%, like the ratio of the screen to the size is 73% screen. So that is really impressive. It has been functioning really well, but good Lord. I mean, it's all aluminum, sort of graphite body. It's just super comfortable. And, I'm going to test the battery life. They say 14 days. I'm keeping it at about 70% brightness because that feels good to me. The brightness outside, it's 1500 nits, so it's brighter than an Apple Watch Series 8. But at the same time, it's, it does feel like the brightness outside looks a little bit dim in full backlight, full daylight. But the notifications come in great. Everything is really clear and really legible. It just has been just an overall great experience, and it's just got all sorts of neat functions. So we're going to go into some of the functions. I just have to brag on how great it is. It's a new heart rate sensor from Amazfit. I did have problems with the heart rate sensors in the past. They just weren't not quite as good, but this one does feel like it is looking like it's going to be more accurate, but we have to do through full test. This is how it looks on my 176 millimeter, 17.6 centimeter wrist. The fact that the band is curved down like that, which I normally don't like, it actually makes it really comfortable, and the screen is really responsive. If you go to the app menu, you can get it in this list form, or you can get it in like a big block like you would on an Apple Watch, and then you have your workouts. We're going to talk about all this in a second. Really, really comfortable. I mean, look how slender it is, but also large face. I just like that you have so much sort of screen space. Okay, so now we're just going to keep it in place just glancing through all the details. You swipe up to get notifications. Notifications come in. They're super easy and clear to read. You can dive into them, and then you swipe left just to get out, and then you swipe down to get the settings menu. You can adjust this settings menu. I like that it's got a lot of quick search options. I am testing the battery life. This was like a day and a half ago, so 27% in that time. Right now it's fully blasting all brightness, so that's going to skew the numbers, and I have been doing about an hour of GPS activity a day on top of a workout, which is full brightness. So you have these widgets. We're going to look at those in a second. You hold it down, and you will be able to change. Sometimes the screen is the watch face. There are a ton of cool watch faces, like, there's my dog, looks really awesome. A ton of really cool watch faces that you can choose from. They have a bunch of free ones online, and just really, really sharp, in my opinion, like really like good looking watch faces that make it stand out with the screen that you're using. So you swipe and you get widgets, and we're going to look at each one of these widgets. So let's just look functionally. All these widgets are here, and then the last sort of series of options is this widget here, which is a list of different things. It's actually right to the left when you're on the screen. You swipe to the right and you can see all of these functions in like bullet form, sleep, all these sort of functional things. It just offers a ton when it comes to the wellness and recovery. So let's dive through some of the widgets. So they have this new readiness score. Now, the readiness score, I think, is pretty cool in what it is based on. It's based on your physical recovery, mental recovery, and it tells you how it evaluates these things: sleep, resting heart rate, sleep HRV. So it's giving you sleep HRV. I mean, this 35, it is tracking according similar to my Garmin and similar to Whoop, which is bonkers because this is a $239 watch. So statistically, it's tracking well so far: breathing quality and temperature. So you can see my readiness score across these different days. You can see a whole bunch of other things. You can track other, but this is actually super impressive to me. So physical recovery, just based on a few different statistics, as well as mental recovery. So we're going to watch these things. I actually feel like this was spot on for today. I felt like my mental recovery was 50%, and that's impressive from this watch. But contributors, these 6 different contributors to what is considered readiness. And again, I feel like that's impressive. This is not a fancy watch. The workout status, we'll go to another thing. We're going to look at sleep first. So this is actually the temperature in the room, somewhat temperature of body, and that's the stress level. So stress is sort of a health-related item. So the stress, it doesn't seem to be tracking it that often. There's just spots in time you could see on the app if we were actually looking at it on the app. And then sleep. So if you look at the sleep score, you get your stages, you get your heart rate overlaid over top of it, you get your time, REM, and deep sleep, which gives you like a summary of those 2 primary things. And if you were to take a nap, it'll track your naps. Okay, so we're gonna try this one more time just to see if so 12.8 is like super low, but I also want to show you the other stats. And for some reason, if you let the watch time out, the other stats will disappear. So I'm going to put my fingers there. Might not get a good reading because I slipped and fell off it for a second, but we'll just see what it brings about and if it changes my body fat. Okay, so body fat 13.9. I just had it tested yesterday, 13.5. Skeletal muscle mass, the actual muscle content, 147.8 pounds. We'll look at all these stats. I'll actually show them on the screen. So the muscle, 147. The bone mass, 7 pounds of bone mass. We'll see what that was. BMI is always high because I have muscle content. Basal metabolic rate, 1920. So I feel good about all those. Obviously, this is within 0.5, within 0.4 of my actual body fat on a scan. So pretty advanced when it comes to wellness. So sleep, stress, and the recovery score. Primary element being the recovery score, which has resting heart rate, temperature, heart rate variability. Those are pretty significant things. Stress, I don't really trust it throughout the day because it doesn't do it if you're moving around too much. So as far as workouts go, it's going to give you your aerobic and your anaerobic training effect, as well as like a training load for that workout in particular. It's going to, give you a whole bunch of different stats, but the most important thing is that it is seeming to track the heart rate relatively accurately. That is what it was, is at least similar to a chest strap. So that's really impressive for this little ghetto priced watch. And then those stats are not far off. With the anaerobic is further off on the Garmin than it was on the Garmin, but still not bad for the evaluation of the workout. And then you have the evaluation of your workouts across a period of time. This has a great simple summary page where it just boom, you have your recovery time, boom, you have your training load and your status within each of them. And if you were to dive in, you can see your training load in the bar around it. And it used to be that my training load was just maxed out all the time. I've been wearing this all week and it's actually settling down. So I'll be able to test that over time, as well as you have your recovery time. It used to be that this was shooting up to like 50 hours every time I did a workout that was, had some intensity to it. And now it's a little bit more balanced. I'm just thinking, dang, they're getting it. I mean, this is like legit. And the other thing, the big thing about the Amazfit is besides the fact that the heart rate seems more accurate, the training load seems to be adjusted, the recovery time seems to be adjusted. Those are huge factors that are looking more accurate. Is this readiness score in addition to the sleep? The sleep was always there, but this readiness score is a culmination of multiple things. That's impressive. And then what was impressive or has always been impressive is that it has Amazon Alexa. Alexa, tell me a joke. Working so far. Who won the Best Picture award in 2023? That is really impressive. You don't have to say the A word. What's the weather in Madrid, Spain? I mean, she is just kicking butt so far in just simple functions. Obviously, this is tied to my watch and it's here in the house. And in general, it just has a platform that just kind of has everything you could want. It really functions just really well on all these little factors. It's simple, but it just feels like it's doing a lot of things really well so far. And it's just beautiful and it's great and it's comfortable and it's sharp and it's sleek and it's like, come on, way to get after it, Amazfit. So we're going to test this over the next few weeks, but so far, just spectacular. The only thing that I have sort of felt like is a side thing is that it, for some reason, even though it's 1500 nits in 70% brightness is what I usually keep it at, I usually can't see it quite as well in bright sunlight as I have on the Apple Watch. So in summary, in just my first couple days of using this, the Amazfit Balance is actually super impressive. The readiness score based on multiple elements, the fact that it's tracking HRV at night, the sleep score, and just how it's presenting the material, I really am liking so far. So it's gonna take a solid 3 weeks to be able to see how it really evaluates my readiness in life and my impact of things in general, to see if it actually feels like worthwhile information, especially when it comes to just the training and the training evaluation for the overall training load for each workout and the expectation for how much recovery time is needed. It is doing better than any of the Amazfit watches I've tested to date. And so it feels like it is actually potentially scratching the surface of the full wellness evaluation as well as the full training evaluation in a beautiful, long battery lasting $239 watch, which will come with a free band depending on when you buy it. So super impressed so far. Give it some time. We're going to have to let it cook and see how it works compared to others on the market and just in this price range, and just do these components actually add value. So with that, stay tuned for more. It's a Fit Gear Hunter. Thanks so much for watching.